On this episode, the legend Sasha Vaynerchuk stops by. Hey everybody, this is Vaynerchuk, and this is episode 254 of the Ask Garyvee show. And this is a very, very, very special episode because the all-time most popular guest of my original video and podcast show back in the day, Wine Library TV, was none other than my dad, Sasha Vaynerchuk, who is here looking dapper, Dad.
Yeah, well,
you threw up a deuce. I like that. And who is now making his second appearance on the Ask Garyvee show. We got very yeah. We remember when we got emotional up in the Andy was there. We were playing basketball. We had this great episode.
Oh yes.
What episode number is that? Anybody?
118.
This guy is on it.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Andy's very impressive.
Can you send it to me, please?
Yeah, it's a real good one.
Yeah.
Well, but this time we're in New York. I didn't realize this.
First time.
This is the first time you're in our office.
Right.
We've been here for almost a year.
Right.
And you decided not to show up and say hello. You're busy.
I was busy. Yeah.
All right, listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
I'll tell you a story about being busy.
Okay.
You had a podcast with Brandon Steiner.
Yes.
And a friend of mine, longtime friend in the liquor industry, in the wine industry, liquor, spirit, Neil Barnett, who you know,
I know
very
Neil.
well.
Sometimes friends, sometimes enemies.
Absolutely.
You guys are characters.
Yeah, we can,
including you've gone years without talking.
Right.
That is not
That's
how
correct.
people normally categorize friends. Yes.
Right.
You guys are two peas in a pod.
Anyway, he sent me a link to this podcast.
Yep.
And I was listening to that.
Yep.
And after 20 minutes, after it was all said and done, I said to myself, who the hell can sit and watch? You know, I don't have time.
Yeah, you're busy.
Yeah, busy. But what one of the things in the end, you said something about like you like to motivate and inspire people to do things.
Yep.
And over the weekend, I was in Chicago, as you know.
Yep.
I went to a restaurant show in the McCormick Center. Yep. Unbelievable.
Big building.
Big building.
Yep.
I put a lot of miles there. Anyway, so I was walking through the aisle, and second day actually, and I stopped at one of the booths, and the person behind, nice guy, had some spices.
Okay.
And
is that why you have this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I want to make sure I remember the name.
You brought some wine too, Dad.
Yes, right.
I'm going to just pour it.
So I stopped there, and as I stopped there looking at, his spices, he looks at me, and he looks at the tag, my name, and I see the guy is getting, his face is changing. He said, Vaynerchuk? Wine Library? Gary Vaynerchuk? I said, yeah, it's my son. I was thinking...
He went batshit crazy.
Right. And in 2.5 minutes, he's telling me a story. He used to be a chef. And after he started following Gary on Facebook and Twitter, and he read all his books, all 5.
There's 4 business books, 1 wine book.
Right, 5 books. Okay. He said he inspired him to start a business. And he said today he got a very successful business. He gave me a number.
8 figures.
Yes. And he said, everything I got, everything I owe to your son. And
did you say there'd be no son without me?
I didn't. No, I didn't. I was humble, but I was. Yeah, right.
I know you.
I would do that, and I was. He took a picture with me, and I felt very good. And today, when I was listening to this podcast, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what you
How does that feel for a dad, given your background?
Very proud. And being competitive, of course. As you know, in our family, it's such
it's a rule.
Right. You have to be a competitor,
or you can't play.
Right. I still still very, very proud and yeah, it's you can't describe in words the feeling, how you feel about your own child, your own son, your own daughter. It's unbelievable. That's what I think any parents live for it.
So that's interesting, Dad. The reason I really wanted to do this episode is more and more, small businesses, family businesses, they reach out to me. They know the story.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. By the way, I'm not plugging in, but
they know about. Guys, this is where I get my interrupting from. Go ahead.
Pete Taylor and his company.
You're making this guy. You're doing it for him.
No, I'm not doing it. He didn't ask me for anything.
I'm sure I know you. If he asked, he would have never gotten.
Right. No, but his what is that called? His company?
Spiceology.
Spiceology.
All right, Pete. You did a really good job stopping Dad.
No. But I was, he was. I can't even describe. It's a great feeling for him. What he feels accomplished.
Yeah, sure.
And it's a great feeling. It was a
nice moment.
Yes, was. If somebody will ask, or Mom asked actually, what is the highlight of the whole trip? I said to bump into this guy.
I love you, Dad. Dad, to good health.
I love you. Yep.
So you brought a rosé. You brought a rosé.
I brought a rosé, and the reason I'll tell you why.
You bought a lot of this rosé. I know you.
No. It has nothing to do with buying a lot. No. My son, oldest son Gary, as you know, and I have AJ, and of course I have a daughter Elizabeth, who always claims
she doesn't get enough press.
Right, she doesn't get enough exposure. I love you, Elizabeth. Liz. Anyway, the reason I brought rosé because Gary always was telling me that stop drinking the same shit. I mean, wine. I shouldn't say shit.
We say that.
Right. Stop drinking the same. I'm a creature of habit. When I start, if I'm on a kick, I'm drinking the same bottle of day.
You're hardcore routine.
Yes,
like
routine.
In life.
If somebody wants to kill me, we'll take them 2.5 seconds because I will go to the same gas station, same Dunkin' Donuts, same. It's unbelievable. Same supermarket. I even it just hit me. When I go to Costco, and I don't want to plug in Costco, but I'm plugging in.
You're trying to Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah. No. I park in the same spot. In the same spot.
What if somebody's got it?
I would park next to it. But no. But the point is, I park so far, and it's not like me, but I would park so far away from the entrance, but I would always, it's like, it's mind-boggling.
You're a routine guy.
Routine. If I'm out of my routine, that's what throws
Everybody
me.
watching on Instagram Live right now, are we taking Instagram Live? Is that what we're getting? Facebook, okay. Everybody watching on Facebook right now, which one's the Facebook camera? This one? Love it. Facebook, start putting in your phone numbers. Dad, this is now a call-in show. People are going to call.
1 second.
Yeah,
so
of course.
about this wine.
Yeah.
You always said don't drink the same thing.
Right.
And today I decided, and you were surprised actually.
I was stunned.
Right.
That you brought rosé.
never drink rosé.
And what's fun for me and Dad about rosé is, in the years that I was with Dad, and definitely before I was with Dad in the store, rosé never sold in America.
You've never been before in the store.
No, in the years that I was with you,
right.
And then obviously before me, for
right.
all those years, rosé never sold.
Right.
Like rosé was not a
right.
thing in the U.S.
Right.
We knew it worked in Europe.
Prosecco.
Right. These were non-factors.
Right.
But now rosé is a monster category.
Monster. And the reason I picked this wine, because I had an opportunity to taste this wine. And let me tell you something. This wine is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. And I looked it up before we started show. $12.99. It's a good price.
$12.99 for and it's this time of the year. That's a perfect wine to drink.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So you can alter between white and rosé.
You no red in the summer? Little Pinot Noir with barbecue.
Yeah, a little bit.
Zin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else is going on in the wine world or the liquor world that's interesting to you before we get into the first question?
Well, you can ship wine, but you can ship
Grenades.
bomb, grenade.
Yeah. No, we know.
You know, that's such a
Pain in the ass.
Not a pain in the ass. It's so stupid. Like just like in Ukraine, they disallowed young kids or whatever to, you know, they block the, you know, Facebook or something. I feel in the wine industry that's what's going on.
You left communism for communism.
Right.
Nice job.
Yeah, that did good, right?
Real good job.
I'm not complaining about the wine industry, but I'm complaining about the stupidity, what we deal in, or consumers deal. You can't order a bottle of wine from New Jersey, shipped to New York. That's the most insane thing I ever dealt with.
Worst 15 years of my life dealing with that bullshit. Sucks. All right, Am.
I'm so happy you're not in this industry. You have no idea. Every day
I know.
Get up in the morning, I'm saying, thank God.
It's really tough. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's not pure capitalism.
That's right.
Yep. How about the food stuff? I know you're killing it with Russian food in the store. All right, hold on. Here we go. What's the name? Patrick. We got to get into I want to talk to you. I wish it was Patrick Ewing.
Who's Patrick?
Patrick, this is Garyvee, and you're in the Ask Garyvee show with SASHAVEE.
No way.
Yes, Patrick.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Denver, Colorado.
Love it. What's your question?
And then, I've been following your content for a lot of time, and I kind of feel like I'm at a point right now of when to balance patience with learning or needing to pivot and rethink what you're doing. There's kind of, you talk about knowing your truth and knowing what you're driving for and staying on that path. But when do you know, and what signs should you look for if you're needing to pivot, change, adjust?
So, are you running a business?
Yeah.
What kind?
I'm doing a consulting business around actually something you're passionate about: engagement, employees, culture. Kind of rethinking what a workplace needs to be in a world of technology and this kind of new reality. So you're trying to figure out, should you stay the course and let the market come to you because what you're selling is difficult to sell because you believe in it, so you want to be patient, or are you actually wrong, or is it too far away, and should you pivot into some other offers or features or things of that nature? Is that correct? Yeah, totally. I mean, I think you know that this is like,
I do.
This is the bread and butter, but I feel like with a lot of leaders of companies, engagement, employees, culture is number one in thought, but number 2 or 3 in action. So I'm trying to figure out how to get into that world, how to make it more of a priority, or is it just a lost cause for a lot of people?
Dad, what do you think about, when you think about your long career, when was it stay the course because you believe in some strategy, category that you're buying, investing in liquor versus wine, advertising? Like, when did you know that you wanted to stay the course, or when did you know that you needed to try something different, or did you get into patterns? I know for you, I know your story the best, you were a very early New Jersey newspaper advertiser in a co-op in the early 80s, right? Which was a big breakthrough for you. You guys created a co-op. You were selling at cost in a newspaper. That worked. Mm-hmm. When did you know to add direct mail, or when did you try commercials? When did you stay the course? When did you change the mix of your product in the store because you felt rosé was coming? Like, how did you make those decisions?
Well, quite honestly, and I don't have to give more credit to my son. Okay?
But I'll take it.
But he will take it, I know. When Gary came to the business, and he came at a very young age. At first, he, of course, was no factor. He was making ice for $2. I don't even remember how much. Underpaid, right?
Underpaid.
Yeah.
I was good at making ice.
Yeah. So, but when he came to the business, and again, I treasure these years, what I spent working with Gary when we used to, you remember that, travel back and forth.
All through high school.
45 miles each way. And that was the most memorable moments when we used to discuss business strategy.
Let's link up. There's an article I wrote about exit 12 to exit 48 on Medium. That to me is the foundation of our relationship. It's the foundation of our relationship.
And to take Wine Library, what I came up with the name.
Yes, absolutely true.
Okay.
He did. You went to California.
Went to California.
And all the wineries were calling their cellars Wine Library.
No, I'll take you to the library. They didn't call Wine Library. I'll take you to the library to pick up a couple bottles of wine and go for dinner. That's where I came up with the name of Wine Library years after. But that was, quite honestly, all these great ideas, when we used to bounce off each other, that's when it's, real started. Real. Before it was just another liquor store, and got creative.
What gave you? So I want to make sure we answer this question. I know I'm interviewing you a little bit, but I want to answer this question. So what? Patrick's sitting here, and it's very.
How
nice
old is
story.
Patrick?
I don't know. How old are you, Patrick?
I'm 31.
31, young.
So Patrick's trying to decide, is he on the right? What's the balance between patience? Because I sell patience. I believe in patience.
You have to pay. You have to.
Versus, is he on the right path? Is there something else he should be putting? Innovation versus patience. How have you thought about that, or have you not thought about it? I know you.
I did.
Go okay.
You have to be patient.
That trumps it.
Who said?
I'm asking. No, not Trump. That trumps.
I was
No, that is more value. You think the patience part is more valuable?
You have to, you have to believe and stick to it, to what you believe. I mean, that's you can't try something and 2 days later or 2 years later said, okay.
That's my biggest problem with, I think, that's something I always yell about with our employees, and I like, right?
That's your style.
Yeah,
no question about it.
Like, I don't mind if the new display.
I always held on to too long a lot of times.
Well, this is what he's worried about. Mm-hmm. As you're thinking through, Patrick, listen. I think the reality is, I'm a big believer in the following: you're not going to know the alternative, so you might as not dwell on it.
Yeah.
You're not going to know, right, bro? You're not going to know if you waited too long. Like, a lot of people have bailed a month before the thing they worked on for 2 years was about to go. But they don't know. They don't know that, Patrick. Because they bailed and they were like, oh, that was a waste of my 2 years.
Yeah. And I'm 100% in. I'm not bailing on this. And I'm pot committed. I believe in patience. It's just kind of fine-tuning it or tweaking it. And I guess maybe the perception to you, and I know you're a firm believer in it, do you think that there's a market out there for this?
Yes, I do. I think culture and the emotions and all the feelings in a business, they're the driving force of the new economy. I think culture, my dad will tell you, as a kid, as a child, it mattered to me. It was intuitively in me at a very young age. It has emerged as an enormous pillar, and I think it will continue it will catch up, my friend. I agree with you that they talk about it. You said it, first in what they talk about, third in the way they execute it. That's exactly right, because they're full of shit. They say it because it sounds good to their employees, but they don't want to spend money on it. But as operators like me and others continue to get fame and awareness around trading on that will then people start realizing the financial value of it. I'm not doing it because I'm for kicks and giggles. Now, it's my natural demeanor. But it's still an ROI positive thing, and I think as the decision makers change over, I would say as the decision makers change over from my dad's generation to my generation, and definitely the generation below me, this will become the pillar. And you're 31. You can grind and survive until you're 38, 42, and really reap the massive financial benefits of being a leader in this space for a decade.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting. You're right. I think that when I talk to people, there's about a director level and below that everybody gets it, and it seems that once you go above there and people take ownership of the job, they just get scared of change and kind of hold on and push back. Dad,
you hate change.
Yes.
Right? Like, you can speak to that.
But
to your credit, absolutely.
To my credit.
You know who I want to call right now?
And you inspire me to, not only inspire, you actually drill in me to try to do different things, just like drinking different wine.
Yeah, imagine being captive with an 18, 20-year-old me in the car for 45 minutes back and forth. My poor dad. I was guns a-blazing. Mm-hmm. I appreciate Patrick. That's right, Dad. I think who I want calling Facebook, if you're watching right now, if you're either the father or the mother or the son or the daughter in a business that is struggling with the co-relationship, I will say here, it scares me. It rocks me to the bone of how much I didn't appreciate the air cover that my dad gave me. I stand on his shoulders because he let me stand on his shoulders. Like, he didn't suppress me. When I think about the liquor business, a couple of my dad's friends, unfortunately, one good friend had passed away not too long ago. I think
my way or hits a highway.
100%. My dad was part of a generation. There was the 5 to 7 guys who had the biggest stores, and 3 or 4 of them had their sons go into the business, and it didn't work. Now, do I think I was more talented than the sons? Of course I do. But my dad gave me major air cover to execute.
I always believe in you.
100%.
I knew that from
Why?
the day. From the day when you used to rip the flowers from our neighbor in Dogwood Meadows and sell it to her. That's what's blown my mind. I mean, you know, I wouldn't have the chutzpah to do that, but he did. He used to go, and her name is Gail, right?
Gail.
I remember that.
Gail and John.
Yes, and he used to go in and sell them the flowers, and they knew that he was a little kid. They just play along with
Take your advantages where they are.
That's it.
Who's this? Eric.
Eric Costner?
Nope. From British Columbia, Canada.
Chili wag.
Uh-oh, Eric.
Big hockey fan.
Huge. He's not going to answer his phone. It's going to be devastating. Dad, one thing I talk a lot about. Kill Eric. He's finished. Sorry, Eric. Dad, one thing I talk a lot about is how much you worked, right? Like, my work ethic, completely inspired by you and Mom, the way she worked the house, but more you. You know, we really didn't hang out. Like, you know,
no, you got fired.
The number you have dialed is not in service.
We don't need to talk about when I got fired the one time for.
Why not?
Well, listen, fine, listen. Tell them. I'm sure they
build
yeah, listen, go ahead. Character, go ahead. Tell them the story.
Gary asked for
2 hours off, another day off. Asked to leave early for a high school party. You know, when you graduate high school, people have parties. I asked on a Saturday to leave at 5 instead of 7 p.m.
Right.
Right. And I worked every summer day. This is
No
real
question
stuff.
no question about.
I asked to leave at 5 instead of 7 one day. And we would leave the house at 7 to open the store. So 7 to 5, you know, or 9 to 5.
That's
I don't
a
know
hell of a
what you know, 2 hours early. Hanging up on this one. Hold on. I got to tell this story. This is how hardcore my dad is. I asked to leave 2 hours early on one day for the whole summer. He looked me dead in the face and said, "You're not committed to the business. You're fired."
He came home and he was crying. And of course his mother had to get involved in the whole thing.
And then I went from crying, because I cried, to smiling because I actually didn't work the next day. And since I've been working my whole high school life, I was like, wait a minute. This is interesting.
Give me
what
a
is
laptop.
this freedom?
Give me a laptop.
Little AJ, I didn't, you know, not yet. This was before that.
Right.
This is 94.
I'm making a joke.
This was playing
That's
Nintendo.
the Rangers year.
Yes. And so I was like, this is amazing. And then my dad doesn't really, he didn't come to apologize. He just walked into my room the next day and goes, you're coming to work. I'm like, all right. That's really what happened.
That's it. But Gary's talking about me being a tough guy. You should ask him about his parking tickets in Boston. Did you ever tell the story?
That's not a story anyone knows. So in Boston, my junior year on Comm Ave, there was nowhere to really park. So it was super hard. So I just would park in places that I ended up with like 40?
Guys, his, what is it, glove
compartment.
When you open, all the parking tickets fall. It's got to be over 100 parking tickets.
Yeah, good thing we didn't tell Mom.
And he came to me, and being a tough father, you know what everybody thinks, I paid all the tickets.
Yeah, you're only tough on the outside.
Right.
Super soft
So
on the
I
outside.
paid all the tickets.
That's right.
And
You like that, Iris?
And what about the $10,000 club bill?
No, we're not going into that story. That story's not coming out. That story's definitely not coming out. That was a business expense. Andy, get into questions before Dad gets too out of control.
Wait till I drink another glass of wine, guys.
What do we got?
You want a little?
Nick? Yeah, okay. Nick.
Gary, how you doing today? You're on with Rob and Nick out in New Jersey here.
What do we got? 2? Rob and... Did you say Rob?
Yeah, Rob is my father. I'm the son, Nick.
Okay, so we have Rob and Nick, father and
Jersey?
son. In New Jersey. Where in Jersey?
We're located in Manville, right off the Somerset Circle.
Oh,
yeah, we know it well.
yes.
Yeah, we know Somerville. Awesome, man. How are you guys?
Gary, if we were any better, there'd be 2 of us, so we're fortunate.
Actually, if we were any better, I'd have to sit on my hands to keep from clapping. Thanks for asking.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Guys, what can we help you with?
So, Gary, our question is a broad one, but I'll narrow it for you. Are we on the right track? We're a boating safety business out of New Jersey. and we do education. So we're focused on building our business and taking it bigger. We're already doing Facebook ads. We're going to be moving on to Instagram ads. We're getting our website updated. So we just want to know if we're on the right track. We have 15 instructors teaching all over the state. We run about 200 classes a year. So, I mean, what else can we be doing better? We have all the multimedia tools to tell our story online. I mean, I think with just it's really just 2 or 3 of us in the office right now, running about 200 classes a year. So, I mean, are we on the right track?
So I think the question becomes, where do you want the finish line to be on that track? You have to work backwards if you're on the right track or not, right?
How old?
How old is he?
Yeah.
How old are you?
So I'm 24 and my dad is 57.
Young crew. Okay.
Young guy.
So I think the question is the track, right? Like, when you say, are we on the right track, are you asking, are we spending our money in the best optimal places to maximize our short-term growth?
Yeah, my dad's nodding his head, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I think, listen, I think dad to dad here can talk. That's the advantage of having my dad here. I think the question becomes, are you guys, Nick, are you in a dynamic where you guys, like, you believe in this? Dad, are you looking for the obvious black and white ROI? Like, whether it's friction or optimism, like, I assume that's the question. That's the cliche question, right? Which is the ROI in this paying the dividends? I think to my dad's credit here, there's a story that is so insane having my dad here. My dad approved a Wine Spectator year buy I came to my dad and I said, Dad, I want to buy this spot in the Wine Spectator magazine, which, don't forget, you guys all know me. I love trading attention. And I felt the entire attention of the wine business was in the Wine Spectator on this one page where they had pictures of the labels and the scores, and there was an ad spot on the right. And the ad for the yearly cost of the ad was so much money, it was basically almost equal to our profit the year before.
Well, it actually was, to be exact numbers, $192,000 what I sent a check out of my personal account to Marvin Schenken, the Wine Spectator.
Because we didn't even have the cash flow.
We didn't have the cash flow, and I believe in my son from day one.
But that's bonkers shit to me.
But what I did, I always willing, not only because of Gary, I always was willing, and correct me if, I always was willing to invest in the business. Business always came before
personal. Yeah. Yeah, you didn't buy shit.
Right.
You didn't vacation for shit.
Right.
You put dollars into the business. So I think, guys, the thing that, Nick, that's your name, and what's your dad's name? Robert, I think the question is, I'd love for you to answer here. Are you guys trying to, what's the scenario here? Are you trusting your son on, spending these marketing dollars in these new environments, and you're trying to get a grasp on what the ROI is?
You are absolutely correct right there, because I don't know shit when it comes to Facebook and Instagram and anything like that, and I'm trying to get a grasp on it.
I get it. So first of all, go ahead, Dad, please. This is
Robert, right? As a father, you will know better than anybody. And I don't want to sound like it's only business. You have to. For yourself, you have to say, is my son capable to grow the business or not? That's a very simple question, and it's a very simple answer. Nobody can answer this question for you, not even my genius son who sits next to me, because you have to know if your son is capable and he going to take your business to the next level, or your son, no disrespect, is a schlemiel. That's it. So it's a very,
it's binary,
black and white, and that's it. After you hang up, you go into the bathroom and look in the mirror and say, yeah, I believe in my son, and I'm going to invest. Or you walk in and say, you know what, I don't think he's capable to do that. That's to me, that's...
Robert, I agree with that, because the beauty of having a family business is that you're playing forever, right? The big wake-up call for me when I got into corporate America is that my dad and I, for all the things we agreed on, all the things we disagreed on, thank God we loved each other just enough more than we loved the business, which allowed us to keep a relationship. But 99% of our energy was always about the business for the long term. And so I think Dad's shooting it right, Robert. I think it's funny. I'm looking at a lot of my team members. I just make binary decisions if I think they can do it or not, and then I let them win, fail, tweak. I think you bet against your. I think the real answer, Robert, is you bet on your belief on Nick's capabilities or whoever else could be driving this to a level that you can afford. Clearly, in hindsight, I was so confident. I just thought, who wouldn't bet on me? I was blind. But in hindsight, my dad using his own personal money, putting back into the business to make an advertising bet is the ultimate belief in what I was. I'm sure there's a lot of mom and dads out there that are watching that might be willing to spend 20% of the profits as a bet because they don't know yet. I did a lot of things from 0 to 22 to give my dad confidence, not just after intuition. I came in and did things that we had a real...
No question about.
So,
$80,000 I spent on Jets bullshit.
Billboard.
Booklet.
Yeah.
Was,
garbage.
Garbage.
I need to be on the sideline. But at a macro, I was delivering.
That's right.
That's it. So,
that's right.
Robert, I think it's a binary question. I think Dad's exactly right. Too many people ticky-tack it. I think it's a binary question of what's the allocation of dollars that you want to support Nick's vision, and then whatever that is, write it off.
That's it.
If he fails, because you know that Nick will learn from that and take it to the next step. Bet on what you can afford to lose mentally as much as financially, and I think you'll be in the right position. Make sense?
We are in a position where we're crushing it right now based on the previous year's income, and we definitely need to do more. We haven't done shit with Facebook or anything. So my question to you is, will this Facebook and Instagram be able to take us higher? You tell me.
What are you spending your money on now?
Google AdWords. To the tune of about $15,000 a year.
Yes.
So,
and what is that creating for you?
It's creating, tons and tons of
leads,
which ultimately the people come in and take our voting safety classes over the other companies who actually aren't even using Google AdWords.
So, Robert, here's the thing that I would answer. I would say most likely no. However, if Nick is good enough to produce a video and spend $3,000 on amplifying it against employees of or the target segment, because he figured that out, his $3,000 video, his $3,000 ad spend on Facebook and his $1,000 video cost on a local production company could bring you the value of spending $15 million on Google if he hits it right and it creates virality, or he could completely put that $5,000 directly in the trash if it doesn't.
Okay.
So if you're a conservative player, my intuition is no. If you're on the pure offense, and look, Nick, Richard, I'm sorry, Robert, I view you at 57 as young. I don't know where your head's at. I know a lot of 57-year-olds who want to play golf for the rest of their lives, and I know a lot of my dad will die at his desk at Wine Library. That's just money in the bank, and I will do the same in wherever my desk is. So, to me, betting on Nick for a year, even if it goes to a complete zero, isn't a death blow in the marathon that you might be running. If you're trying to maximize dollars right now because you want to buy a beach house in South Carolina and golf in 2 years, you may stay conservative because you want the dollars.
We're going to need a bigger boat.
I get it, brother. So, look, I think if you're running the marathon, I think risk is actually practical. Does that make sense?
It absolutely is, and I'm not afraid to take it.
And Robert, I'll tell you the other thing. There's nothing better than sticking it to your 24-year-old punk son when he thinks he knows everything and he goes and throws $15,000 in the trash.
I remind them of shit like that all the time.
I'm sure. And Nick, I promise you, in reverse, there's nothing like telling people all this crazy shit, like let's have a website, let's do email, and not everybody's sure, but you get the support of your dad, and if you deliver, it becomes the ultimate relationship in life.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking our call.
Yeah.
We really
Good luck to you guys.
appreciate
Take care.
Thank you. Good luck.
See, to me, that's like, that's why I wanted you on the show. That's cool. That's us. That's it. That's real. And Dad, that is happening for, I mean, I get million, you know, in my life I will get millions. I get tens of thousands a year, you know, people emailing me about like, my dad won't do this, my mom let me do this, my son wants me to do this. Like the family business dynamic, right? Like you have 3 kids. I worked hardcore with you.
Right.
Liz came for a summer, got fired, never came back.
Well, she got
AJ
fired.
dusted shelves for an hour and never came back.
Right.
Right? So you've had the gamut of it. It's a lot of stuff, right?
That's a lot.
It's a lot of baggage. We've dealt with a lot of stuff, right?
But at the end of the day, always love, father and son was first, and everything else.
And a lot of people don't have that. And that's the core of the issue.
Then it's not going to work.
100%.
Then
What do you got,
not
Eddie?
going to work.
Edgar?
Yeah.
Edgar Bronfman?
From Seagrams?
RIVERO from Ocean City, NJ.
New Jersey again. You're on the New Jersey kick.
They love the father-son dynamic.
It's a Jersey thing.
Hello.
Edgar, this is Garyvee. You're on the Ask Garyvee show with SASHA Vaynerchuk.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome.
Well, we're glad to have you. Where are you from?
I'm from Ocean City, New Jersey.
Ocean City.
Ocean?
What's up, my man? What's your question?
It's just a very simple question. I'm currently working 2 family businesses. One is a construction business. The other one's a cleaning business. And we were able to merge them together by, just recycling our customers throughout that. But my question is, I don't know, if I deserve to be paid more than I'm getting paid right now for doing the work that I'm doing. I'm handling all the social media, advertising for a company. I do all the office paperwork at after hours, and I do a lot of the selling as well. And I don't know. I just feel like since it's my family, I don't think I have the authority to be able to ask them for more money than I already get.
So who owns the 2 businesses?
The one is under my name, and the other one is owned by my uncle.
Uncle.
And who would make the decision if you were to get paid more?
My uncle, and it's my uncle, basically.
And so what's happening? Do you feel that you're slightly underpaid, grossly underpaid? Like what's your truth?
Well, I only make right now $23,000 working with them, but we make a lot more than that, and I see it because I'm in the background, and I kind of want to get a little bit more.
How old are you?
I'm 21 years old.
21. Young.
Look, I think the reason you're seeing hesitation from me and my dad is the true answer is every family dynamic has their own spiel, right? Have you ever broached the subject lightly with your uncle?
Yeah, well, right now it's up in the air. He said, how much do you want to get paid? And I'm in the position as I don't want to overcharge, and I really don't know how to charge my family. I don't know if I should charge my family. I love my family. I want the businesses to grow. That's my main focus. But I also, I am working a lot.
Are you close with your uncle?
Yes, I'm very close to my uncle.
And your uncle have children?
Yes, he has 2 children.
How old is the kids?
One is 22, another one is 18.
Are they in the business or either businesses?
Not really.
Well, that's
That's a data point. So look, here's what I would say. I think that the number one thing is communication. Like when you're not talking, danger comes.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I would say when me and my dad were at the best, we were talking.
Right.
When we were at our worst, we were keeping it to ourselves and we were letting things fester and bother us, right?
Right.
So I would say, when I hear I don't know you from Adam. I've known you for 4 seconds in my life. I can tell you're authentic. You're coming at this in such a good way. You're like, I love my family. So I would say a couple things to you. you're 21 years old, right? You're obviously not making a lot of money. Do you need money? Is a really interesting question. Do you feel like your happiness on the weekends or vacations is limited because if you had more money, you'd have more fun? Like, do you want to save more money? Like, where are you at with money?
Wait a minute, $23,000. He's making nothing.
Nothing.
Right.
Yeah, but let's talk about it for a second. Where are you with your relationship with money?
Well, right now, all I have to do is just give my mom some money so we can pay rent and whatnot. But other than that, I really don't need much money other than gas and getting food. That's about it. It's just, I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know. Let
me ask you a question. It's easier to ask me than it is your uncle, given all the dynamics. If I like just shooting the shit, like what would freak you out happy? Like what would make you super happy while factoring in all the things that are running through your mind, which I love because I love your vibe. I wish you were my nephew. I would do real damage with you. Like where is your mindset right now? What would be awesome? What would you like to go to?
I would really like it if I were able to, just pay like my rent comfortably, because we're kind of like overstuffed in our apartment right now. We have my aunt and my cousin coming to live here for the summer. And it'd be cool to just have like a bigger place, just so we could all live comfortably.
Cool. How much? What's that number?
What's that number?
Yeah.
I feel like if I just made at least $1,000 extra a month, that would be another $12,000. If I made $35,000, that'd be great.
No brainer.
I'm telling you,
pretty happy.
After you hang up the phone with Gary, you call your uncle. And Sasha. Call your uncle.
Pour him a nice glass of red wine. Say that
rosé.
Or rosé. Tell him that you're bleeding out of your eyeballs and you always will for the family business, and that it would be game-changing for you if you could go to $35,000 a year. Here's the good news, my friend. If you do what my dad and I are saying right now, you will win. Because either A, you will get the $35,000, or B, you will have a data point on how your uncle reacts to that request.
And third thing, if your uncle said no to you, ask him to call us back. No, I'm very serious. 973-376-0005. That's my library's phone number. Ask for Sasha Vaynerchuk. Right.
Alrighty.
I mean,
can I ask you a question? Because I like bringing value on this show.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to do it, or are you too scared to ask? Tell me the truth.
I'm scared to ask.
Why?
Because I don't want to seem off as a leech company. Like it's his business. I don't want to seem off as a leech. Like I already like doing the business actions. Like that's fun for me. First of all, and I am getting paid.
So here's what.
But you're not getting paid enough.
So here's what I would say.
I don't know what you do, but dollars. My cashiers get paid more.
Here's what I would say. I would say that you need to ask your uncle that this is the number you're striving for. You'd like it right now because you feel the work ethic and the results that you're driving is driving towards that, and ask him if he agrees, and if not, what has to happen for you to get there, because that's what you need to do to provide for your mom and all these people that are coming in to move in with you.
Right.
Do you get benefits beside the paycheck?
Pardon?
Do you get benefits like medical or?
Not right now. We've only been in business for like 3-4 years, coming to 4 years now. But around our town, everybody we've grown in not in a numbers way, but people see they know of us and they know our work ethic, and they just give us business, and we've been able to grow pretty fast over these 4 years. That's why I know that I'm able to get this money.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, listen to me. You're gonna lose. You're eventually gonna crack and start hating your uncle.
Right.
So you might as well do the right thing by your uncle and have this conversation.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely, 1,000%.
Got it? You're doing your uncle a favor by having this question. Otherwise, you're gonna resent him, and it's gonna be an issue. Right?
Absolutely.
You understand?
Right.
So don't even make this about you. Do the right thing by your uncle and have this conversation.
Okay.
Got it?
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to call him right now.
Call him right now, and I want you to tweet me at Garyvee and tell me you called. You don't have to give me details. Just prove to me that you called on social, because if you don't, I'm going to send the hundreds of thousands of people that give a shit about this show, and we're going to bother you until you suffocate.
Well, I don't have a Twitter, but I can send you a message on Instagram.
Respect.
It's recorded on video.
I love it. Good luck, man. Let me know.
Good
Send
luck.
me an email to Gary at VaynerMedia with an update.
All righty. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's cool, right, Dad? This is real life shit.
The guy gross under paid without knowing anything. You know.
But you know this. I mean, look,
he's right, and I understand.
Listen, I'm pumped to say this publicly.
No, but he's asking. He's asking for necessity.
I get it.
I mean, to pay rent.
I get it. I get it.
People on welfare get paid more.
Dad's not happy with the price point.
I'm not. Absolute truth of the matter is, I used to pay myself $30,000.
I know. I'm laughing. I was thinking the first time I really cared about.
I was investing in the business.
Me too. You know, it's funny. I was sitting here. I was like, the first time I really started caring was around 27, 28. Like, you know,
Right.
it's, you know, when you're investing, you're investing.
But he's
Business is second. Business is his name.
Uncle, not with his father.
No, I get it.
Big difference. Or his mother.
Yes and no. Unfortunately, what you'll learn, right? Like, you know, we know us, but like when you go out in the world, unfortunately, there's a lot of uncles who take care of their nephews better than their dads take care of their nephews and their sons. You know, what else, Dad? What other wisdom? Talk to the kids for a minute. Talk to the 20-year-olds who want, not the kids in the room, but yes, them. Good. Actually, they're all here too, but there's a lot more watching. Like, what are the kids? What advantages do you think you had as an immigrant? Advantages?
Oh, I do.
Tell me. I've never really even asked you this.
I recognize the advantage. I had a dream, just like Martin Luther King Jr. I had a dream.
Yeah, talk about your dream a little bit. Actually, you know what? Let me ask some questions that maybe. I mean, I've asked you so much shit. 45 minutes. I did most of the talking.
No, it's an hour and a half.
You know, right, Dad? When you come to America, economy shit. You have this distant great uncle who has a liquor store in New Jersey, right? Mm-hmm. Like
my father's first cousin.
Your dad's first cousin. You live in Queens. You're driving a car. Tell the story about your first car where you didn't know you had to pump gas and you just ran out of gas.
Arlene Newman bought me a car. That's my father's first cousin.
Gives you a car. Very nice of her.
Very nice of her, and I never forgot this. I really should call her. And, well, actually, I'm going to see her at the wedding. We're going to see her at the wedding.
Yes, go ahead.
And I used to drive from Queens to Clearbrook. You guys don't know.
Right, this is when you were still working construction.
It's Turnpike.
Yep.
You gotta pay attention.
Clearbrook, Turnpike. Right. I can multitask that.
Okay, you're right. Exit 8A on a Turnpike. And unfortunately, this car, it was a car, Pinta. Do you know?
Yeah, of course.
I was the single biggest buyer at the hardware store for oil because the car was purchased at the auction and the motor had a hole. So every so many miles, like 20 miles, I had to stop. And I used to carry in the trunk, I used to carry cases of oil, 1030 I think. And I used to pour in the engine and drive. I mean, it was fun years. Used to get up at 4 o'clock.
Talk to me about the dream.
The dream I always want. I was competitive. That's what real all about. I mean, I was competitive. I want to have a nice house. I want to have a business. I want to own a business. I always had a dream. Big dreams. Actually, there is a story. I don't know if you know. When we first came, we settled in Queens at the apartment, studio apartment was you and Mom was pregnant. Studio apartment, one room, and we were at an organization called HIAS.
Yep.
Who sponsor for the family to come. And I had a cousin who she's still around, first cousin, my mother, brother, daughter, Rita, and we were walking on Queens Boulevard, And at that time,
Alexander's?
It was Alexander's.
I know the
store, a big department store, like Target today, and it's called Alexander's. And I saw that,
like a Macy's, actually,
like Macy's, right? And I said, one day I'm going to have something like that. And she looks at me and she starts laughing. But
is that why you built a 3-story wine shop?
I just right.
We didn't necessarily need that many floors,
right.
But you're like, fuck it, I need to make that dream happen.
That's right. Yeah, that's listen, land of opportunities. If you want to accomplish anything, there is not a better place to live and not a better place to be.
I left
from a country where everything was suppressed. It's a communist country, and everybody should be equal. It
was fucked up.
Yeah, didn't work.
I remember the biggest things that impacted me was that you and Mom thought that if somebody was 50 or 60, they were very old because people were so fundamentally miserable under communism.
Not only that.
People died.
People were, at 60, people used to die because...
they were just miserable.
Yeah, not
this man back here's parents, right?
Came from Russia, yeah.
Yep.
They came from Russia?
Ukraine.
Mm-hmm. Not a good place to be today, there.
Yeah, terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Tough. You got something?
JR in Dallas, he should be on the line.
JR.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Wait.
Whatever, JR.
Your name is JR and you're from Dallas?
From Dallas?
Yes, sir.
You used to be a show, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got shot back in 1980.
You still alive?
I came back to life. I was born in 82.
Respect. My man, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Gary, very much for the flip challenge. Made a little bit of money on eBay. Also, a little bit of money on Facebook ads. So thank you very much for that, first and foremost.
You're welcome.
Sasha,
yes.
I had a question mainly for you.
I hope I can answer.
I'm a young dad here.
Young dad.
I'm a young dad, and I'm, I guess, struggling with the work-life balance thing. And I know that you guys kind of don't really answer questions because of the context, families, it's just different for different people. But how did you get through those times when you were, working all the time, not really spending a whole lot of time with the kiddos? And then how did you, I guess, establish that relationship later on?
Well, let me tell you something. Looking back, and I'm 60, how old am I? 63.
That's crazy. Is that true? Yeah, you are. Holy shit.
Yeah, 63. Looking back...
That's crazy, buddy.
I have regrets. Luckily, it's worked out for me. But I did not go to any games. Gary played baseball and Little League and all that. I didn't go to anything. I mean, at one point in school... everybody was under impression what my wife does not have a husband. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay? That was people were talking about and saying that she made up, she had a husband or something. Because I work every hour. And you know what? Looking back, again, luckily for me, for the family, things worked out with the kids. But I have a lot of regrets. What I didn't allocate at least a little bit of time.
Because you went completely all in.
Yeah, I completely went all in, and I was always worried about people who's going to steal. Let me tell you something. From my personal experience, you can slip in the goddamn business. If people wants to steal, they're going to steal while you're there.
Dad, do you think that, real quick, JR, I'm going to deviate because I think this might help a couple people. Do you think that, it was the biggest thing you instilled in me at 14, 15, 16, this fear that employees were going to steal. It was number one, right? do you feel like that's a complete correlation to being in Soviet Russia, where everybody was
But we had an employer who, while we both were there, stole a shitload of money.
People steal.
Not money.
Dad, I think people steal. 90% of the people here steal time all day. They're not like stealing. No, that's not what I mean. I don't mean that people stole under my watch every day, let alone like under your watch every day. No, you were obsessed with it. Do you believe that was a byproduct of the Soviet system?
Yeah, it's have a lot to do with
because that's what I think in hindsight.
Where I came from and my upbringing. It's definitely have a lot to do.
So what are you telling JR, real quick? Let me tell you something real quick. I apologize, Dad. JR, I don't think like when people hear my stories, I don't think they really realize it. We're an extreme family. Like. My dad came to one baseball game.
We're not normal family.
My dad came to one baseball game in my entire life. I can remember it vividly. It was an all-star game. I pitched. I was super pumped. He came with my who passed away uncle, Misha. You know, they both came. I was super pumped. That is literally the only event.
Let me interrupt you for a second. At the graduation my daughter had.
In high school?
In high school.
Okay.
You know,
in 1997,
they used to call parents to the podium, right?
Oh no! You know what this was? This is when she was a senior, when she was cheerleading, right?
Cheerleading, and they were calling the parents.
Like the last game, like the parents come out with the kid.
My daughter, at my daughter's, right, Elizabeth, and I wasn't there, of course. My wife was there with my youngest son, AJ, right? And how old he was?
He was at the time 10.
10. So they call in Mr. and Mrs. Vaynerchuk, right? And Tamara had AJ, and she's dragging him to the podium, and he didn't want to go. I mean, now you're looking back, it's
AJ got the benefit though.
AJ got the benefit. He was the youngest one, and after so many years working hard and all that.
Plus having Gary in the business.
And Gary in the business, of course, we have to give him credit,
That's how I like it.
Like he doesn't get enough. I start going to his games. And
which is awesome.
Let me tell you something. It's you have to allocate, and I don't know percentages, I don't know how much time, but you have to, listen, I'm giving a lot of credit to my daughter-in-law, Elizabeth. Matter of fact, her name Elizabeth as well. She makes Gary to spend time with kids on the weekend.
100%.
She's, and you know what? In the beginning, I was kind of, it was foreign to me, and then I said to myself, it's very important, and that's the right thing to do. So.
JR, are you having a problem with yourself internally or with your partner?
It's a little bit of both, but mainly it's me internally, just kind of feeling guilty about it. I guess just trying to get through the hard times. If there's maybe a piece of advice that you have, just getting through that like guilt of
you're talking to two men who have zero guilt for putting in the time at work. Right. I promise you, because I share his DNA. There was never one day in the first 18 years of my life, not one day. You have to understand, to my dad's credit, we live in 2017 now. In 1980 and 90, there was no conversation of work-life balance. Right. There was no pressure on the father to be at the game. Some fathers did it, but that wasn't a conversation. You never heard of that. My dad went through my entire childhood not one day having guilt. I promise you that truth. I know it. I'll tell you why. I don't either. Yes, I spend way more time with my kid. I'm going there right now. Like, me and Tyler are looking at each other right now. He's stressed because I have to go do something. What? He's stressed because I have to go to something. And I can't be late. I want to go. I don't want to be late. And I'm having so much fun with you. But I have a kid thing that I'm going to right now. Right now, I will go to as more functions at my kid's school than my dad did in his career. But I will tell you this. If I don't go to a single another one from right now to my kids graduating, I will feel zero guilt. Because I know, like my dad knows, that our intent was in the right place. My dad grew up in a place and in the world, and he's old school for old school. My dad's 63 going on 630 in his demeanor. He's old school, right? You love old school shit.
A handshake.
Yeah, handshake, right?
Right.
So, Jared, you have to understand, My dad felt no guilt, and I'll tell you why, JR. He judged himself within himself. And if he knew his intent was to provide for the family, and that was his role, especially when he knew his wife was way better at emotional intelligence and raising the kids, and he was better at doing the thing. And I feel the same way. I know that everything I decide, I'm trying with the best of my ability. Jared, you have to try the best you can. You can't let the outside world, not Sasha or Gary Vaynerchuk, not your partner, not your parents, not a magazine, not a podcast judge you. You just have to do the best you can.
Mm-hmm. Did we answer your question?
Thank you, guys.
Does that make sense?
That definitely makes sense, yeah.
So guess what? If tomorrow you feel like you have to go to the thing, go to the thing. And if the next day you feel like you got to go to the meeting, go to the fucking meeting. Stop judging yourself.
Right. No question about it.
All right, thank you, guys.
You got it, brother. That sucked, Dad.
Yeah, Mama's going to kill you.
Sorry about that. Got a little clumsy. Jake loves it. Jake secretly loves it. So listen, talk to me real quick on wrapping this up, work-life balance. It's at everybody's top of mind.
Listen, it's a whole different society. It's a whole different generation. It's a whole different approach to things. And balance, I never had a goddamn balance. I never had a balance. I mean, I'm extreme. Anything I do, I don't have a good balance. Anything I do. And I'm trying to change myself, but, you know.
How's it going?
I went to Chicago.
Guys, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. For my dad to go to a business meeting in Chicago,
right,
is like such pattern breaking that it's...
Mm-hmm. No question about it. It was tough, but I enjoyed it, and I'm trying to do the right thing for the business. Trying to do a little diversified, trying to do new things because, Gary got his own thing going on, and he's not able to fit everything into 28 hours a day. So I have to, and I'm not ready to sell, retire, or quit or anything like that. So I'm looking for opportunities. I'm getting a little bit more involved in the food business. I told you about 2 distributors already got done.
My dad has become hardcore in selling Russian food.
Not hardcore, please.
Dad, you're pumped about this.
Yeah, I'm pumped. So
there's nothing. Listen, you're dominating.
I'm not dominating.
You're dominating the Russian food business, Dad.
No, I'm not.
Guys, he's dominating the Russian food business in New Jersey. He's putting people out of business.
I'm not putting anybody out of business. Please. It's enough people in the wine industry hate me. I don't need anybody to hate me.
All right, Dad, question of the day.
My question?
Yeah, you get to ask the question of the entire Vayner Nation. What's the question? You ask a question, not a statement of the day, which is where you've historically been. A question. What would you like them to answer?
How do we, Gary always on his shows, either Wine Library or as Garyvee doesn't like me to get to politics, and I'm going to try to not to, and I'm going to be very politically correct if I can, just like our president today.
Yep.
How do we solve the terrorism problem in the world? Because what happened the day before yesterday,
yeah,
right?
Manchester, it's young kids, young little kids, and these fucking lunatics blown up, innocent. What do we do as a society? It's affecting everybody. It's not affecting just America. It's affecting everybody. Russia, Europe, everybody is affected. How do we get these people to senses? Do you know that my show is categorized in business, not in politics?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you have a business question? Just asking.
You didn't clarify before I asked the question.
Well, what normally happens is we end the show. I give you a kiss and go, Dad, next time it'd be really great if you didn't do the politics thing.
And I didn't do it. I'm just asking.
That was that was much less teeth than normal from you. That's a general question.
Yes, a very general. Yeah. So
you had a good time?
I had a great time.
What do you think of The Office?
The wine is great.
Yes, the wine is great.
The Office, very impressive. I would like Neil Barnett to come to visit one day.
You really want Neil to come?
Yeah.
Are you and Neil like hanging out all the time?
Yeah, I didn't speak to him in a month and a half, I think.
Yeah, but
we're on good terms.
But you've had 2 separate periods where you guys didn't speak for a half a decade.
Five,
yeah.
Right, 5 years.
You guys are characters.
Yeah.
I love you, Dad.
I love you.
Thank you. Lucas. You keep asking questions, we'll keep answering them.
And I'll have a little more.